Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my late April, early May garden. It's May 1st. Unbelievable that it's May 1st. All of a sudden, I feel like there's a lot going on. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, but I sure am. There's a lot of good things going on, but it can sure stress you out at times. We have lots of special occasions coming up. My son graduates high school. My youngest son makes his confirmation. My oldest son is coming home this weekend, finishing up his sophomore year. And there's lots to celebrate. There's lots to be thankful for. I am thankful for my garden in good times and in bad, because I think it helps you deal with life and the changes that life brings. I know I certainly find refuge in my garden during all times, good and bad, happy and sad. I find refuge in my garden. So this is what my front porch is looking like right now. I'm still waiting on my tulips. And as you can see, mine are just about to open here. I'll be sure to share all the blooms with you, but for right now, this is how my front porch is looking. I have several pots budding up, ready to give us a show. I have some violas here, a mix of pansies and violas in my pots. Same thing over here. Oh, look, this one is just starting to open. That's going to be beautiful. I did all my tulips in containers this year. Most of them were stored in my shed, and I find the ones that were stored in my shed did really well. The ones that I had potted up and left in my garage did not do well. So you will see some pots that have flopping tulips. And I did pull a couple of these, and several of them were moldy. So the bulb just kind of rotted, I guess, which is kind of funny because I barely watered my pots, and I thought that was the issue at first. I think it was a combination of things, but I do have several pots that were not cooperating with me this year, but we will get some beautiful tulips just like these in those other pots very, very shortly. This is what my garden shelf is looking like. This is a garden shelf that I have purchased off of Amazon and put it together myself. It's very easy. I can link it in the description box if anyone is interested. Let's take a closer look here. I just have a tin container, which I'll probably be putting something in there at some point. This is from Hobby Lobby, as is this beautiful little angel. And oops, if I can find the link, I'll link that below. Isn't that sweet? That was part of their spring shop. When I went to Hobby Lobby, I don't know, about a month ago, I also got these little bunnies. I can link those below as well if anyone is interested in anyone looking for a bunny. This is my statuary likeness of my dog Lucy. I bought that last year at a local garden shop. just have my pots filled with pansies and violas. I just potted these up in the last couple of days, so they haven't filled in just yet, but they're getting there. I also moved my living wreath to the front door. I felt like it was getting a little wind blown on that side door, and we had a couple of days of full sun, and I felt like it was a little bit much for these pansies. So we'll see how it does on the front door here. This is a living wreath from Kinsman Garden Company. I recently purchased the living wreath form. It was the large one, the 24-inch from Kinsman Garden Company, and I'll include the price. And I potted it up with pansies and violas. It has a jute base, and I filled it with potting soil, and then I topped it with super moss and watered it in, and it's been doing well. As you can see, my door we need to do a little bit of work on our front door. So many things that need to get done at this time of year. This is the window box on the front part of my house, and I just, potted it up with pansies and violas right now. I will be adding to it. Things don't look perfect right away. It takes some time. So that was my first step here, just to add some color and some life. I do have Vinkavine planted here, which I'm looking to see if anything is coming up. I think this might have died, so I'll probably have to pull that. I do have a daylily here too, which that does not look good either. I should have taken that out before the winter came because I don't think it survived in this container. I should have popped it into the landscape. And the Vinkavine on the other side here, I'm going to have to pull that out. So in the meantime, we will enjoy these pansies and violas. I'm loving this little picture in the front of my house here. You can see I have a laser cut sign that says Pretty Little Garden. I got that for my birthday back in October from my sister Sarah, and she got it off Etsy. I will link the name of the Etsy shop in case anyone is interested. They make all different kinds of signs, and you can customize and personalize. But I love it. Pretty Little Garden. I love it. And the pot that I hated the most, this is so funny to me how things work. I was so upset when this pot of tulips was completely flopped and looking terrible when I brought it out of my shed. And I look at it now and I think it looks so graceful. It kind of came back for me. I watered it and I put it in full sun, and I don't know, just the way it's leaning over, I just think it looks elegant and graceful, and it's just about ready to open up. I don't remember, I think this is going to be a pink tulip of sorts, and it's a tall one, as you can see. I don't really remember. Let me get a closer look here. The name of the tulip, but when they bloom, I will share, and I'll make sure to attach the name so you can see. But you can see it's all budded up, and even though it's relaxed and leaning over, there's beauty there. I did pop some violas. I think I put 3 in here, hoping that they'll kind of fill in the bare spots over here. I probably should have stuck another one over there, but I just think that is a pretty spring picture. You can see the daylilies are starting to wake up. The Junior Walker catmint, that's all ready to go. Looking lush and green, ready to bloom. This is the bed right by my mailbox. I just planted these 3, they're called Ballerina Lilac Sea Thrift. I had never heard of them before, and I noticed them at the nursery this week. Let's take a closer look. And they're very compact. I think the tag said they get 14 by 14. That's what my tag said, but I did see online they could be a little bit smaller than that. And they have just a vertical growth of the bloom. They take full sun. And they like a well-drained soil. And my tag said they're hardy down to zone 5, but I think I did see elsewhere online that they could be hardy down a little bit further down. So just check your tag. This is my celebration maple tree, and you can see it's starting to leaf out. We're just coming around. I'm gonna head into the backyard and just take a little stroll and just see what's waking up. You can see here my lavender is starting to wake up, pushing out some new growth. It really likes this spot here by the rock. And this used to be one big, one plant, I should say. It wasn't big when I first planted it, but it has broken apart. So you can see here, this clump kind of broke off of the main clump here, and it's kind of forming its own little mound. And I kind of feel like this one might eventually break apart and form its own little mound. But it's doing well. I love the color of the emerald gaiety euonymus this time of year. Isn't it bright and beautiful? I just love it. I've got 4 of those here. And we do have a bunch of little things coming up here. I have some, Rudbeckia, a patch of Rudbeckia here and there. I think it's called Little Gold Star. And I have my echinacea starting to come up there. And right next to it is where I planted out some bachelor button. So I'm hoping those are going to do well. You can also see back there, there's a sprout of clematis starting to come up. Here is some more clematis. This is Clematis Haldine. This is a white bloom. And then this one really didn't come up too good last year because I had given it a good hard prune, and I don't think this is a group 3, this one, so probably didn't like that too much. But this is General Sikorsky. That one is a purple bloom. So, this time of year with the clematis, I kind of baby it. So I will come out and just gently separate things before they get too tangled. Because, they're little, I don't know what you call them, petioles or, oopsie, I just broke one off. I don't want to do it right now on camera one-handed because I'll end up breaking too much, but I just kind of guide things along and weave things in and out just till it gets up to a certain height. I'll probably come back and do that later, just so it starts to grow in the direction that I like it to. Let's take a walk into the backyard. You can hear the birds singing and enjoying the spring weather, the spring day today. I think it's supposed to be, the high is supposed to be about, I think it's supposed to be about 70. It's so comfortable right now. It's probably in the high 50s. It's warming up quickly. You can see my snow fountain weeping cherry. It's already bloomed out. Let's take a closer look here. It's already bloomed out. There is a little bit of the white blooms left. It happened so quickly though. I feel like this particular tree, it leafed out and then sent out the blooms, and we had a couple windy days and they just fell like little raindrops pretty quickly off the tree. You can see they're kind of scattered about, but the show was short, but it was beautiful. I'll insert some clips of, when it was more budded up, but this is the snow fountain weeping cherry tree. And it's got quite a canopy. It will weep down to the ground, so we do like to keep it shorter. Let's see if we can come up here and take a look from this way. Isn't that gorgeous? It is quite a wide canopy on this tree. Show you, this is my Twombly's Red Sentinel Japanese maple, purchased from Home Depot last spring for a very inexpensive price. I think it was $78, and it's looking beautiful. Let's see if we can get a little close-up look on that leaf there. You can see the color is stunning. And I think last year this leader here, this top branch, was not producing any leaves, but you can see clearly that it's all leafed out up to the tippy top, which is a great sign. So I very much like how that tree is looking. You can see the new growth on the golden Vicary privet. And that gets very golden, very chartreuse and yellow actually. It's in a full sun position here in my garden, so it gets very bright and beautiful. These are a couple of new shrubs to me. We planted these last, I believe it was in the fall. Yeah, last fall. This is the Blue Muffin Viburnum from Proven Winners. And I have two of them here in this new garden bed that we put in last September, end of the summer. And I realized after we purchased these viburnum that they require another type of viburnum denatum, I believe is the name, viburnum denatum, a different variety planted somewhere nearby in order for them to produce blueberries in the fall. So I did see a couple of blueberries on this plant after we planted it. So we shall see how it does. We'll see if it truly requires another viburnum to produce those blueberries. I didn't know that at the time of purchase, so we're making the most of it. Over the Moon Astilbe, planted last spring and starting to come up nicely. It's a beautiful color. It kind of needs something to contrast it from the mulch. I think I mentioned last year I thought maybe some white stone, some light colored stone underneath would look pretty. So that's a garden idea. I do have a little baby iris here. I think this was a blueberry iris that I planted out. I had it in a pot on my back patio last summer and planted it out. I did have 3 here. I think one of them was over here somewhere and died, and I do have one right over there, and that looks like it kind of died too. So we'll see how this one looks. It's a pretty picture there. You can see my window box has some pansies and violas. You can see my pear tree, 4 of them in the distance. It's all blooming. Oh, a little bird. It's such a peaceful morning. Peaceful morning in the garden. Here are some peonies. Hey Lou, can you kind of move out of the way? Anyway, I've got Sarah Bernhardt peonies, and I think I have Alexander Fleming. Lou, come here for a minute. Come here. Good girl. And I did plant, this is a new one here, and I'm going to have to look at, I planted a peony tuber, so I got to look back and see what I planted because I can't remember, but that is what this one is here. And I thought I had a couple more right over here, but I don't know if they survived. So I'm looking forward to my peonies. Here are some more bachelor's button. This is the black magic that I planted out the other night. If you saw my last video, those are looking pretty good. Straighten that one out a little bit. This is the Endless Summer Bloomstruck Hydrangea. 2 of them. One there and one here. And you can see it's starting to leaf out. So the growth that's coming from the base is what's blooming on new wood, because it'll grow up a new stem, a new branch. And the leafing out you see up top, that's on the old wood. So the way I did this last year, I just let it go. I don't prune anything. And once it seems to be bloomed and set for the season, I'll kind of come in and clip back any dead wood and dead blooms. Endless Summer Bloomstruck. It's a beautiful hydrangea. I have another little hydrangea over here that my niece got me for Mother's Day. I think it's been 2 years now. And it's just a hydrangea that was not labeled. So you can see it's blooming right from the bottom. But I believe it looks like it blooms on old and new because you do see some growth from the existing stems too. So Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Samantha. That's from my goddaughter, Samantha. And I'm so excited for my niece, Samantha. She is starting to grow some cut flowers this year. So she called me yesterday and we had a little conversation about flowers that she might want to try. And I'm going to see her this weekend and share some seeds with her. So I'm happy for that. Here you can see the ivory halo red twig dogwood is starting to leaf out. Looking gorgeous. We are having an issue with this area of my garden. We recently, I'll insert a clip, we recently took out the stakes from all of our trees and we were inspecting things. Now this is my Crimson Century Norway maple tree, and it really is not doing well. It's starting to leaf out only on the bottom. It does have a beautiful leaf that turns really bright red eventually, but we think that this bed here, the center, basically this area from this dogwood to that dogwood, we're having issues with drainage. So we had those holes there are from where I had some mums, and you can see the holes from where we removed the stakes. We do have it staked up still because honestly we weren't sure what we were going to do. This tree is basically sitting in water, so I think that's why it's not doing well. And last year my dogwoods actually, they started out good and then all three of them weren't doing well, and I think it was a water issue. So we're debating on whether or not we need to remove this tree, and we're definitely going to be raising up this little area because I think you can see right over here, it kind of, when it comes down this way, it kind of dips down just a little bit. So we think that's what our issue is. We're going to try to build that up a little bit so the drainage is better. Hopefully we can get that figured out. This is a pretty picture. We removed the stakes from the Fat Albert blue spruce trees and from our Vanderwolf pine, you can see, which is right on the left here. And that feels awfully good. There was a little bird's nest. I don't think we could get all the way into this tree because, like, I still think there's some stake stuff left in there. There's a little bird who's nesting. Oh yeah, I can see. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. I'll have to look back. You can maybe see the head. There's my Cleveland pear. There's 4 of them here, and they're all blooming, which is very pretty. And I also think the color of this trunk is beautiful too. It is certainly warming up. I had a jacket on and the sun is coming out and it's getting warm pretty quickly. We opened our pool and we just bought this little vacuum and my husband is thrilled about it. I think we've had our pool maybe 3 or 4 years now and we've always cleaned it. And we noticed this last year, it was just hard to keep up with the cleaning. It just seemed like as soon as we cleaned it, it would get dirty again. So my husband bought this little vacuum and it's been doing the trick. It's making his life a lot easier. And it's a little less stressful when people come over to swim. You can have a clean pool. You can see there's some sticks and leaves, but I just turned the vacuum on, so it takes like 2 hours to clean. But it's always so fun when you open your pool. We are ready for summer. You can see the autumn joy sedum. pretty growth there. My northern gold forsythias have finished their blooms, and you can see that they're starting to all leaf out and turn green. That's what they do this time of year. I kind of like to leave my forsythia kind of wild, and I like how each one of them has a different structure going on. Like this one on the left here has a really tall branch that comes up, and then this one in the middle kind of goes in either direction, and then the one on the end here kind of has one side that's taller than the other two. I just think that's kind of fun. I like the loose feel to that. I think it's really pretty. Here I have a Brunnera. I think it's the Jack Frost Heartleaf Brunnera. It's just starting to come up. I did have one on the other side, and that one looks like there's nothing there, so that one I think is gone, but this one's coming up. Everything is slow, very slow to come up this year. This one I remember last year at this time had its beautiful blue blooms. If I can insert a little clip of that, I will, but it had already bloomed and was looking really pretty. So we will be patient. You can see there's a lot of sticks on the ground. I feel like our river birch trees dropped a lot of sticks this year. We did have a lot of wind. I'll just give you a shot of the beautiful bark on the Heritage Clump river birch tree. Really gorgeous. Gorgeous. And we're just finishing up my tour. As you can see, I still have one hydrangea that I have not clipped, and it's already starting to leaf out. So that's not great, but I'll get to it. I will get to it. I did have a little sedum here that also did not come back. This was the Rock and Grove Midnight Velvet I had planted here. Usually sedum is pretty good about at least a little piece coming up, but yeah, nothing came up here. And I'm just noticing there's all these little ants. They look like they're carrying little bits of birdseed. That's funny. We also had an issue with voles in this area. I don't know if the birdseed contributed to that, but we did have some vole activity going on, and that wasn't fun to deal with. But can you see all the little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's little ants. Each one of them looks like a little kernel of birdseed. They're getting busy. This is a blue mouse ears hosta that's starting to come up. I love that hosta. It's so cute. I love the mini hostas. They are beautiful. Candy mint crabapple tree. Newly pruned this season. And it's just starting to, where the snow fountain weeping cherry was already bloomed and starting to leaf out into green. This one is just starting to open up, and it will be blooming a really pretty pink white bloom. So I'll be looking forward to that, and of course I'll share with you when that time comes. Patience in the garden. We wait patiently sometimes, right? I'm just going to end here with my hellebore. This is the Ice and Roses series, which they don't turn down as much. Some of them you still have to turn, but see this one here, it's just like straight up, beautiful bloom. Really beautiful. I love the hellebore. This is my first, I planted them last year, so this is my first season with them, and I love just how early they come out and that they just stay like the same way for so long. When you're waiting for other things to wake up, this really offers a lot of joy and interest in your garden. in the very late winter, early spring season. And I have one more over here, part of the Ice and Roses series as well. Gorgeous.